stay in here. But what I want to focus on is a very shocking report that has just been published, and it comes from the University of Toronto's Investigative Journalism Bureau. And this concerns our children in schools. We've already been hearing how underfunded our schools are and the conditions that our kids are going to school in. We have the absolute tragedy of Landon dying in an isolation room in a school because there were no resources, no staff there to support. That's on this government. And so this report from the University of Toronto's Investigative Journalism Bureau is showing that toxic lead in Ontario schools is a significant and serious health risk. In fact, in the past 4 years, nearly half the province's schools have had at least one test for toxic lead failed. That lead-laced water has impacted more than 800,000 students and roughly 2,300 elementary and high schools all across the province. Our children are going to school, and if they drink the water, they are drinking lead. And I am sure that the government is aware of this because we know that the schools have an infrastructure backlog of billions. But the very fact that this government knows that our children could be exposed to lead, they continue to underfund infrastructure and upgrades, is completely shameful. And we should be here over the course of the summer and into the fall to talk about the findings of this report and to come up with plans to address these shocking findings, to come up with plans that will put the minds of parents at ease, that know that their kids are going to school and in classrooms where the water is toxic because of lead. And finally, it's shocking to see that this study will impact not only just schools, but it also impacts daycares. In a really shocking example, the Asaknak Child Care Centre in Barrie, the Minister of Environment's own writing, had among the highest rate of troubling tests among daycares. So daycares are failing these tests. 12 out of 16 tests in these daycares in Barrie failed. And another shocking example is Fort Francis, a high school in northwestern Ontario. The number of tests they failed there is a shocking example of how this government continues to underfund. We already know that First Nations across Canada have an infrastructure deficit in the billions. And this is an example of how it impacts them and where we see it. And so the minister was emailed a statement, or was asked to respond to this. That's the Ontario's Ministry of Environment. So she didn't respond to questions about the province's decision not to adopt the federal safety guidelines for lead.